There are some great books out there, and some books focus on the design side of presentations, some focus on the story and the structure side of presentations, and I'm a big fan. There are some really, really wonderful books out there, like I say. But I'm also aware, having come from a background of being a typical business person, having reference points like Steve Jobs and Bill Gates and these huge, big icons of presenting are useful and inspiring, but they don't really speak to me in terms of what it's like day in, day out. So if I'm presenting to a prospect, if I'm pulling together a large pitch, if I'm presenting to a sales conference or an internal conference, where are the tips for me to just make sure that my presentation engages and touches the audience that I'm speaking to? And it was really that, coupled with almost 10 years of experience working with companies just like that, to try and address those issues and pull it all together in one book. I think there are 5 key elements that we cover off in the book that do make it quite unique out there in the marketplace. First thing is our approach to audience, and everybody recognises as a presenter that you need to focus on your audience. But what we did is, through a series of what we call audience heat maps, we identified the best way to engage with different types of audience. Again, it relates back to having been a typical businessman out there dealing with a whole range of different audiences, is identifying certain audiences want certain things from their presenter. So we have the audience heat map, and that ties very closely into the next phase, which is the audience pathway, which is fundamentally a structure that helps people get their message across in a way that really engages with that audience. That then links into what we call the presentation landscape. It's one of my big frustrations is that the presentation marketplace generally has focused on formal presentations, and that's fine and that's great. And those big conference presentations or the big pitch presentations where you're talking at somebody and they're not necessarily engaging with you, there's no end of great reference material out there. What frustrates me is that some of the best presentations are where they become interactive, where they become more conversational. And so in the book, we try and focus a lot more on how you can equip yourself with a story and with the right tools to allow you to have those interactive conversations, all the way through to an informal conversation that might be over a coffee, just scribbling on the back of a napkin. How do you tell your story in that really informal environment with the same passion and structure that you might do in that formal side? We obviously look at the importance of visuals, but rather than this being a how to create great visuals in PowerPoint or Keynote or whatever presentation tool you're using, we look at the importance of visuals as part of what we call visual subtext. So the impact a strong visual can have. And it means that you don't have to be a brilliant graphic designer to create a deck of slides that are really, really powerful and really help you deliver your message in a powerful way. All of that culminates in what we call blended presenting. And blended presenting is taking the vast array of tools that we have as presenters today and allowing us to use them in different ways to align ourselves with the audience. So if you're speaking in quite an intimate environment, opening up a laptop and creating a barrier between you and your audience seems crazy. Blended presenting gives you other options to help you still deliver a visual message, still deliver a story that's compelling and engaging and really grabs hold of your audience, but doesn't use a tool that actually gets in the way of things. So blended presenting is really important. So all of the theory, all of the opinion, all of the ideas that we share through the book are underpinned by real life case studies. And I think that's going to bring the entire thing to life for our readers. Because the people that we've worked with over the last decade are facing exactly the same issues as the people that will be reading the book. So we share the process that we went through. We demonstrate how the ideas and the processes that we share in the book are used in real life to address those things. And right at the end, we've also given a quick sort of, you have 24 hours to fix this, what should you be focusing on, hints and tips. And again, it's a bit of a go-to book, I'd like to think, when people are preparing for a big pitch or an important but informal presentation. That's a good question. My background is a standard business person's background. So I'm not a graphic designer. I don't come from the creative agency sort of background. I was a salesperson, then took over a division of a business and ran marketing campaigns and what have you. So I was presenting the whole time. And I was frustrated that presentations weren't being given the attention, the love, the focus and the structure that they really needed. And so I started a business about a decade ago. And I thought presentations, the business has now grown to have offices in the UK and in the States and Europe and in Ireland and Russia as well. So we've grown quite quickly based on really sharing some pretty simple and fundamental ideas around how to structure a presentation, how to focus on the great message, and then deliver really powerful visuals that back that up. And it's as simple as that. And like I say, we've grown very quickly, become an important part of the presentation marketplace over the last few years. And this book is an opportunity to take all of the learnings that we share with companies large and small all over the world and share them through a book. Basically anybody that communicates with audiences. So you don't have to be speaking at a massive conference and you don't have to be speaking to hundreds or thousands of people for this book to be useful. It can provide you with the structure and with the ideas and hopefully just the catalyst to rethink the way that you present to small groups, the way that you share information maybe with your own teams internally. It doesn't really matter how you use it. I think the fundamentals around careful structure of story, making sure that you focus very much on your audience and that you use technology appropriately can be applied in all manner of different presentation environments. So it's not a PowerPoint how-to guide. It's not a how to speak like Steve Jobs guide. It's about equipping business people with useful ideas and a rethink of how they engage with audiences large and small every day. Presentations represent so much. They represent, from a sales environment, a vast amount of work to get in front of the prospects to deliver your message. Internally, it might be that they represent a key change in strategy. It's about communicating clearly and effectively to your internal audience. At a conference, it's about sharing your ideas so people take those ideas and do something with them. Presentations are so valuable, so important, they need to be invested in. And that's what this book is about. So I'm really excited and I can't wait for you to read it.